Hey guys, Akil Stokes here. Welcome back to another episode of the Trading Coach Podcast. In today's episode, we're going to talk about taking shortcuts, the right way to learn, and good and bad pairs for said strategy. Now, I just finished a podcast, just finished the live room, and I was going through the YouTube comments, and I got a very interesting question from a trader that said, "Hey, Mr. Stokes, just call me Akil. I'm not that old yet, but thank you for the podcast. Wanted to ask you, which pair do you know and believe are good for trend continuation strategies? To be specific, the Greystone trend continuation strategy." And that's one of the strategies that we teach you over at tier1trading.com. He says he wants to do some back testing and he would appreciate my advice. And this reminded me of many questions I've gotten in the past about what is good or bad. And essentially people looking for the shortcut. Hey, Akil, what is a good pair to trade patterns on? Hey, Akil, what is a good pair to trade this on? What is a good pair for this? What is a good pair for that? And what's interesting about the Forex market, what's interesting about trading, not just the Forex market, Forex, crypto, stocks, whatever, is that there really isn't any such thing as good or bad, right? I was having this conversation with my live room members this morning about different rules for different things and how, you know, if a trader ever tells you that you're wrong or right, I probably wouldn't take them seriously as a trader. Now, I know there are some very, very good traders out there that have massive egos. I've met them, I've spoken to them, and maybe they're the exception. But most of the time, a professional trader is never going to say, hey, what you're doing is right, what you're doing is wrong, without knowing the details. Because trading is this unique space where everyone's strategy, everyone's technique is slightly different. It's slightly unique to them, right? Me and you could be trading the exact same type of strategy, right? We could be trading a trend continuation strategy where we use a pullback for a style of entry, meaning that after price makes a new high, we wait for a retracement back in the previous level of structure, and then we look to get involved, right? So as similar as can be. But there are going to be slight differences, right? Maybe I use a 3-bar reversal for an entry technique. Maybe you use a double bottom, right? And because of these differences, we can be trading the exact same way. We could be trading the exact same pair and have different results, right? There may be a pair that moves more aggressively. We get lots of 3-bar reversals, but never gives us double bottoms, or a pair that always gives us double bottoms, but never 3-bar reversals. We're going to have different results. The fact of the matter is, right, there is no wrong or right. It is the only wrong or right is when your testing results tell you that it's wrong or right. So if you go through the testing with something and the results come back negative, then you're wrong. But if they come back positive, right, then it works for you. So the question of wrong or right is very similar to good or bad. How do we know that a pair is good or bad, right? What's good to me may be bad to you. What's good to you may be bad to me. There's no kind of blanket answer that I can give you. I can't say, hey, go trade the euro dollar. That's a good pair. We also have to take into account things like time frame. If I don't have information on what time frame you're trading, how do I know that we're talking about the same thing? The euro dollar could be an amazing pair for this specific form of trend continuation trading on the 5-minute chart, but it could be horrible on the daily, right? So it comes down to so many things. It comes down to the actual strategy. It comes down to the time frame, and ultimately, good or bad comes down to the trader. And the only way to ever know the true answer is through your back testing. Do you have a positive expectancy, or what is the expectancy of your strategy? And when you have those numbers in front of you, you can separate your portfolio and be like, hey, these pairs are good based on how I trade. These pairs are neutral based on how I trade. These pairs are bad based on how I trade. So that is the answer. That is the only way to get that answer. But for you guys that are new, this shouldn't even be a question that you're asking, because, and I don't want to be too harsh, because I've done a lot of back testing and I understand how back testing can be. It is we talk about it, we say it's valuable, but man, it is a grind. It is basically testing something over and over. It's like you're a scientist, right? You're testing something over and over again. And the majority of the time, especially if you're in like a strategy development phase, you're getting answers that you're failing. You're failing over and over again. It's a big time investment just to fail. And in real time, it seems like a waste of time. But real traders that have made it past those dark stages, understand that backtesting, and manually backtesting specifically, is going to be one of the most important parts of your trading journey. Although going through those quote unquote bad pairs, the ones that don't give you the results that you want, seems like a drag, a complete waste of time. It would have been much easier if you just had the good ones to begin with. Those are going to end up being your most learning experiences, right? It's just like, developing anything in life. If the Jason Greystone said this, right? So when Jason Greystone first came into my education program, I think it was called the 12-week transformation at the time. He introduced himself. He said the same thing every other trader says, like, hey, I want to be good. I want to be great. And I'm like, yeah, everyone says that. We'll see. But what impressed me about Jason was, instead of asking the questions of like, hey, tell me what works, tell me what works, tell me what works, like these, I call them these shortcut questions, right? Give me the answer, give me the answer, give me the answer. He asked me the opposite. He said, what in your experience doesn't work? And he wanted to try all the things that didn't work, because the way he saw it was that eventually, if he did all the things that didn't work, he would learn from those and learn the things that he needs to do in order to get something to work. And it's brilliant, and it makes perfect sense. It's kind of like a trial and error. Like once you fail so many times, you eventually have to succeed, assuming you're taking steps in the right direction. And I was talking to our traders this morning about a strategy I was testing for a year, and then I got sidetracked. And I told them I was testing it for a year, and I kept failing. There were little wins here or there. That's how it always is. But I kept failing as far as getting the ultimate answer that I wanted. And you would think, like, Akil, you're crazy. Like, why would you keep doing it if you keep failing? Well, because each time I failed, I learned something. I learned a little nugget. And that little nugget was a little adjustment that I made. And that little adjustment got me closer and closer to my answer. Now, I didn't get the answer yet, but I can feel myself getting closer and closer. So I was excited to fail. I was like, let's try this out. Ooh, that didn't work. Okay, let's tweak it a little bit. Ooh, we got closer. Like, I'm almost there, I'm almost there, I'm almost there. And when you go through that process, you learn so much about yourself, your ability to be disciplined and grow as a trader, but you learn so much about your strategy as well. And the cool thing about it is this: not only do you learn information for this specific task that you're doing, but you learn a massive amount of information for the future, right? The amount of testing that I've done, I know what indicators work in what way per how I want to use it. So the next time I'm developing a strategy, I don't have to go through 18 different settings with the MACD. I already know, like, hey, if I want to use the MACD in this way, this is where I need to put that, this is where I need the settings to be. If I want to use the RSI in a certain way, this is where I need to put the oversold or overbought, right? And it allows it to be better for the future because you've gone through the trial and error, you've learned all these lessons, and they will come in handy in the future as you continue to develop as a trader. And I'll tell you what, if you think that developing as a trader isn't crucial to success, you got to be kidding yourself, man. I came in with the mindset that I'm going to pick up one strategy and just trade that strategy for the rest of my life. And boy, did I learn quickly, right? The successful traders out there, the most successful traders out there, have the ability to adapt. You adapt to market conditions, you adapt to recessions, you adapt to COVID, you adapt to Russia-Ukraine war, right? Adaptation is different, right? Adaptation could be growing as a trader. You start off as maybe just a counter trend trader, and then you start implementing kind of trend continuation styles as a hedge. You start implementing breakout patterns, right? Or maybe you're just a systems trader and you have to slowly tweak your system because, well, when we're in a very high volatile directional market, it does really, really good. But as soon as we get into those 2014 years where the volatility is sucked out of the market, well, all of a sudden your strategy sucks, right? So you need to adjust it and make those adjustments in order to stay afloat until normal market conditions arrive. And again, you don't get that information if you don't do the work. So, lesson to traders out there. And again, I'm not saying this trader was doing this, but it brought up all these past thoughts. Don't take shortcuts. The best way to learn is to take the long and slow route to success. Because trust me, the shortcut may get you to success quicker, but you're not going to stay there too long. The long route may take a little bit longer, but you'll be equipped with the tools where you can remain successful forever. Promise. Hope you guys enjoyed the episode. If you haven't done so already, head over to our website, www.tier1trading.com. We got this 14-day risk-free trial membership that you can sign up for. You can join our community, talk to myself, talk to Greystone, talk to our community members, hop in the live room, take some courses, download some software, do a lot of other stuff, but I'm running out of breath. www.tier1trading.com, www.tier1trading.com. There we go. 14-day risk-free trial membership. Sign up today, and I look forward to seeing you on the platform.